and I'm an executive assistant. I am 41 years old and I live in Oxfordshire.
Amazing. Thank you so much. So, first thing I want to think about, if it's okay, is I know it can be so difficult to find people in the ether of the online world. By some miracle, you and I connected. And
Yes.
I know we both share this, it feels and felt so aligned. And I'm so grateful for
Yeah.
that. But what was it that drew you to work with me in particular?
I did feel aligned. I think it was the empowerment thing. So the word empowerment, and it was a bit different to what I'd come across before. I thought also you had qualifications. I looked at your qualifications, and I think I watched your video, and your video was quite engaging. So I think you said, "Hello, lovely," and I really kind of liked your personality. So I thought, oh, I could talk to this lady. So I think initially that's what it was. And you look professional. I liked your approach and your style, like just your style and the way you were, your profile and the way you were promoting yourself, so marketing yourself.
Amazing. Thank you for being so thorough and sharing. Sounds like there's a mixture of that kind of professional qualification style, that like grounded approach, with that like personal, open energy, empowerment style.
Yeah, completely. Like as soon as I saw your video and I read a bit about you, I thought, oh, this is definitely the person I want to speak to. And I think you're a bit younger, and therefore, yeah, I instantly felt that I could connect with you. So yeah, and you're very feminine. I think like your femininity as well.
Yeah.
Didn't have that kind of scary psychiatrist look about you.
Yeah. 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 I get that. Like an actual human feminine
Yeah,
being.
yeah. And I could tell that you sort of were really wearing your femininity as well in your photos. And I think you do that now very well. And you really make the most of what you've got, and you exude confidence. And I think that's something I really like about you, Sarah. And it really stands out, actually. Like, even if I look at different videos on Instagram, you've got your own sort of unique style. You're very natural. I can tell that you've kind of worked on yourself, if that makes sense. Like, yeah, and it's good.
Thank you for gifting me that insight and elaborating, because that really feels like a gift to me. To hear that you've done so much work on myself to be what I call kind of stepping into this kind of inner confidence, and to grow that and to embrace the uniqueness that I know is different to what other people might see as confident online. So the fact that you can see that and that spoke to you and connected to you, and the fact that you've just given me that as a gift in our conversation, I feel really grateful. Thank you for that. So how would you describe our work together?
Very open and honest, and it was like real teamwork. I would say you worked very intuitively with me, and I thought that you read me really well. Like, you would often say, oh, what was going on in your mind then? Because I'd looked just different directions. So you always probed quite a lot, which was good. And also because we were so aligned, sort of interested in similar things.
Yeah, there was definitely that shared like values, I would say, and shared interests, and what you and I call alignment, but that's definitely there. Is it okay if you expand on the two things? When you say teamwork, tell me a bit more, because that's really important, I think, but tell me a bit more what that means to you.
It felt back and forth, and just like a real shared experience, just really kind of getting into conversation and not so much thinking, oh, I'm the therapist and she's the client, if that makes sense. So it was more kind of a friendship, but not so much a friendship. I just felt that we really worked well as a team, and you were happy to go where I needed you to go, and vice versa. So we both wanted it to work and get the best outcome.
What I'm hearing now when I'm listening to you speaking is something about the collaboration, something about the teamwork. It was intuitive. We went where you wanted to go, and that was what was important to you. And we did that together.
Yeah, it was a bit more free, less structured. So it could have been structured, but if I just really needed to kind of talk, or, so we kind of came to each session with a bit more of an open mind and an open approach, I thought.
Yeah.
And I just felt it was really good, like every time we caught up, I felt like I was learning as well, and you reflected myself really well back to me, which a lot of people don't do.
Why is that important, having that reflection back to you?
I suppose just having that awareness of what you're projecting, or yeah, you might have a different perception of how you're coming across, or it's another level of self-awareness, isn't it? And also it's nice to have like reassurance, kind of feels like you're giving back.
So if we circle that back and bring it back to our work together, what does the energy look like here, if you can expand?
I feel like you're sort of probing more and you're asking more and you're putting the focus on me sometimes, and it feels more shared.
Yeah.
And you're listening and you're nodding, and I feel like I'm being heard, and it's more gentle, and you're kind of, you haven't got any barriers. A lot of people have a lot of barriers they don't realize.
I get that. And I think there's something again about maybe the work that I've done with myself, and removing them barriers allows you to have done the work on yourself. And we're kind of like in that deeper space and in that deeper energy in a way.
I feel like I really want kind of more of a just some
Network.
women around me, really, that are female support. So I
Yeah.
think I'm kind of going there a bit more now. And I do find that now I've done some work on myself, women do quite like me.
So let's go forward then. In your mind's eye, I want to invite you to think about between 1 and 3 words to describe how you were prior to us meeting.
Okay, so I felt stuck. I definitely felt stuck and frustrated and confused, a bit desperate, really, for help, I think.
Yeah, so stuck, frustrated, confused, and just ready for help. And then on the flip side, who are you now because of our collaboration?
I want to say capable, because I feel a lot more capable now and more driven and more
Yeah.
relaxed and more courageous.
Do you have any examples of when you've been more courageous?
I can give you a good example. So I've been going to Alpha. So I told you about exploring my faith, and I've been going to this Alpha group. I've been talking very openly, basically in a group of strangers. Never would have done that before. So it's very different for me.
Huge.
I've been really feeling my boundaries, kind of really knowing when something's not right for me and quickly doing something about it. And yeah, just being more astute and just trying different things, Sarah. So I never would have tried Samba before. I would have just been like, oh no, I have this set mind. I don't like Samba, you know. And whereas now I'm like, okay, I'm going to try it because it's different. So it's good to try different things. So I'm kind of wanting to try new things all the time and putting myself, like this week it's my PMT week, and I would normally just hide from the world, but you know, I went out for a jog earlier, and I'm going out with 2 girls tonight, and I'm kind of really putting myself out there, even if I feel a bit shy or a bit introverted. I'm just thinking, oh, you know, it's good for me, it helps me grow in self-confidence. So yeah.
Wow, that's huge. I didn't want to interrupt you when you were speaking, but all the way through, I was like, yes, yes,
Yeah.
true. When you were speaking, it's huge.
Yeah, I feel freer really, and I think I'm less harsh on myself now. I was very self-critical, and actually, you know, there were other things that were to blame, and yeah, so I'm less of my self-critical, yeah, old self.
So many changes to try new things, wanting to try new things, being open, talking in a group of strangers confidently, and enjoy
Yeah,
boundaries. And I can also hear within the boundaries, you're so self-aware of when something's out of alignment that you don't put up with that shit. It sounds
yeah,
like you recognize it, you act on it, and you make sure that that doesn't happen anymore. That is a huge win.
yeah.
And then,
And I would say now I'm kind of building on my faith, and now I'm seeing things from a whole new perspective again, but I'm not losing what I've already learnt with you. Yeah, so I do feel like I'm a different person now, so it's good. And I
oh,
don't think I would have come to Christianity if I hadn't done what we'd done prior to that. So I feel like
wow.
it's all been part of the journey.
Yeah. Wow. So you feel like a completely different person now, and our work together was a stepping stone on that journey.
Yeah, and I've already discussed that with the people that did the RTF with me, and I just said, oh yeah, before that I had did the coaching and I've learned about boundaries and how to be kind to myself. And I just gave them a brief sort of idea of work we've been doing. But yeah, so I think in all, I've just really enjoyed this past year and a half of, you know, just focusing on me. It's been really good.
Incredible.
Good investment.
Amazing. Thank you. Is there any other kind of real tangible changes that you've seen?
I think I'm definitely more comfortable with spending time on my own. I never would have coped with that before, but I've been okay. And I'm sort of just thinking, oh, I need to structure my days. And if I have a difficult day, I sort of do a bit of journaling, offload on paper, and just managing myself a lot better. And yeah, just and also being aware of, you know, overthinking and looking after myself, making sure I get sleep and eat healthily and all those kind of things.
Amazing. Yeah. So they're huge things then, because I guess for me that represents that growth in prioritizing yourself, that also that growth in that inner confidence to be able to be alone confidently and comfortably.
Yeah, completely. I think also just understanding myself.
Yes, that's huge. That real sense of investing in the things that support you. That's huge. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think people should do it more and more, really. And I realise I might be a bit ahead of the game, really, on things like that.
Yeah.
I'm sort of reaping the benefits. But I always talk to people about this kind of thing, you know, because I think it's helpful just to be open.
Amazing. So just circling forward then, because time's marching on. Are there any other ways in which our work has impacted you?
I just feel like I've got rid of a lot of the old. I think you helped me shake off a lot of stuff that probably would have stayed with me for a while. And I've just been able to put it behind me. I feel more present. You've got this idea of what your identity is, you know, and you carry all this stuff that's happened and things people have said to you. You just hold on to it. It's weird. So the chatter that's with you, I feel like that's gone. You know, it doesn't come back as much, which is like a huge weight lifted off my shoulders. Really, I feel a lot more grounded. I feel a lot more normal.
Grounded, normal, and you got free of that mental chatter and that baggage.
Just I'm not carrying stuff around with me anymore. That I think that's good. Just able to process things and move on quicker.
Yes, such a great skill. Did anybody else make comments? Kind of anyone close to you, anyone in the workplace? Did anyone notice any changes in you?
Yeah, my mum has. My mum says, oh, you know, definitely less emotional. She's not very good at giving feedback, mum, but she has said that. And I've noticed she behaves differently with me now as well. Like she treats me more like an adult, which is good. I'd say like I met up with an old friend, she came to see me, and it was like starting our friendship all over again. I hadn't seen her for ages, and I just felt that yeah, especially me, like I was probably quite different. She was probably quite surprised by how different I am. So, and I think they noticed a change in me at work as well. I changed a lot, even in that last year when I was doing that role. Just yeah, I think noticed not me stepping back, just putting myself first more, and just trying to think if I had comments from anyone
Yeah.
else. My brother, I can tell that people have noticed a difference, but they don't always tell you. But my brother, like our relationship's better now. I'm not going to him if I'm emotionally upset. I don't talk to him about my parents at all, really. So if anything, he talks to me more now. He leans on me a bit more, which is nice. It's nice that we can be like that way. So that's changed up.
Yeah, so much has changed. Yeah, so there has been changes, and I know there's times when people did experience you differently, and there was times when you had to put boundaries in and be assertive and step into your power, and you were able to do that more and feel
Yeah.
more empowered in the workplace as well.
Yeah. And I think I don't feel so guarded now because I kind of know the situations where I need to be assertive and a bit more forthright. I don't feel I have to be so guarded and be like that all the time now. I do let my guard down and I'm just a bit more girly. And I don't feel that there's anything wrong with that. And I've got this really young side to me that I think that's fine. I think a lot of people have it, but they just sort of lose it a bit where they're so busy with work and things. I just embrace it.
Yeah, embrace that. It's a part of
It's
you that
like,
we need to honor and cherish. And your softness is a superpower, as we always said.
Yeah, I think I like my softness and I wouldn't want to be any other way. And I think sometimes you can become a bit bitter, can't you? And it can make you a bit hard. And I think that had happened a bit. So I definitely feel, and it's funny, as I've changed, I feel like memories are coming back, like positive memories from when I was a lot younger. So it's really weird. It's like my mind's going back to different places as well.
So all those things sound like they're informing this journey that you're on, which is amazing. So if we had to scale kind of this sense of calm, confidence, courage, capableness that you feel now through our work together, on a scale of 0 to 10, where were you on the scale before you and I met? And where are you now due to our collaboration?
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely in a much better place. A lot of people at work had fed back on my calmness, how calm and pragmatic I am. So I printed off all those emails because I thought that's obviously a superpower. But yeah, I think like on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being ultra calm and 1 being the complete opposite, I think I'd probably say I'm up there, sort of near 10, sort of. At the moment, I'm going through a bit of a funny time, so I'm probably a bit more of an 8. But I think that's just because things are uncertain, and but I'm dealing even with uncertainty a lot better now. And people have said to me, "Aren't you worried?" And I just think, well, no, I know it will sort out.
Yes, you've got more faith and more
Yes,
self-trust.
exactly. I know things will sort out. So,
And where were you
and
before then? If you think usually be at a 10, but at the moment we're in this uncertain period, which you're navigating differently, you're leaning into self-trust, you know you can handle it. But if we just put a number on it before, where were you before?
I think I worried a lot more. So I used to worry and analyze everything, and I used to get angry. I used to have a lot of anger or frustration. So yeah, I was probably more on the other end. I was probably like more of a maybe a 4.
Thank you for sharing with me. So that's a big jump, a 4 to a 10.
Yeah, yeah. And I think before mum used to say, "Oh, you just don't care, do you?" Like I saw something recently about how people deal with frustration. So either sometimes if you know you've got a ticket machine that's not working, you react in like one of 4 different ways. You either sort of walk away, frustration, you just you think, oh, just walk away. It's like a suppressed kind of reaction. Or you get really angry. I can't remember what the other 2 reactions are. And I thought, oh, actually I used to just pretend I didn't care. That was a lot of the time, that was my way of dealing with it. And I used to do that for a long time, and it wasn't true. It wasn't, I didn't care. It was just a coping mechanism. And then I got to a point where I became a bit more like confident in I can have feelings and get frustrated, but then just went the opposite way and just became quite angry a lot of the time and thought, oh, it's okay to express my anger. But I think it was just coming out a bit more when I was just learning this new side of me. So I was probably a bit like that when we started doing work early on, and just feeling my feelings, as you used to say. And yeah, but I feel now that I'm able to rationalize my feelings a lot more, probably because I know myself better. Like when you know yourself and you understand yourself a bit more, then you can sort of control yourself a bit as well and rationalize your reaction and your thinking. So I'd say my response to things is different, and I don't let people affect me as much. Or if they are affecting me, I sort of start thinking, why am I feeling this way?
What's the lesson?
Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you for sharing with me and painting that picture. It's such a massive change in so many ways, which is magical. So 2 more questions and let's move forward because I know we're in our final few minutes together. But is there anything else that you can talk to about kind of how you've experienced me as a person, kind of my energy just being in space with me? Anything?
I think that you're very kind. You've got quite an endearing way about you, and you don't think you know it all. You're very humble, and you're not pushy at all. You make sure that it feels like a safe space. You constantly ask for feedback and you check if things are okay. So yeah, you're very conscientious. You come across quite genuine. I don't feel like this is work for you. I don't feel like you've got this mask on.
I'm so pleased you see that because that is, as you know, I always say this is my passion and just feels so purposeful to me to align with people who are so aligned like you. To hear that all of that comes across where it's not pushy, it feels safe, we're doing it at your pace, I'm checking in, feels kind and genuine and human. And thank you for sharing that. And thank you for gifting it to me in this space in our conversation. So, what would you say to someone who was in the ether of the internet, they're looking for someone to work with? What would you say to them about working with me?
If you're looking for sort of a safe and gentle experience, you know, a listening ear, a safe space to explore and to learn, and just to be around more of a feminine energy and feel empowered and have your very own cheerleader and supporter, then Sarah's the person to go to.
Amazing, thank you. How did you find the WhatsApp support? Can you talk to that for a moment or two?
So if I'm feeling like, if I WhatsApped you and I said, oh, I'm feeling really crappy or I'm upset, then you'd be able to reinforce something positive to me or tell me what to do to manage it. Like if we chatted, you're quite good at showing things from a different perspective and saying, well, that's really good actually. And actually, it's normal for you to feel that way in that situation. So you kind of helped me feel better about the way I was feeling, which was nice because like you have compassion. You don't get that with some people. Some people, they just don't say anything, or you feel a bit like you're being scrutinized or judged. So it's nice to have someone that offers you empathy and compassion in that space and helps you feel that you're not going mad. Or that was quite understandable that you felt that way or reacted that way. So yeah.
Yes, that sense of like normality, reassurance, actions all in one.
Yeah.
Amazing. So finally, just a final space in the ethos of kind of like celebrating our work together, our collection, our collaboration. Is there anything else that's on your heart, in your mind, that you want to voice into the space?
If I needed help again, I would want to come back to you. I wouldn't really look for anything else. I feel that you're the sort of person I'd like to speak to about if I was looking for further career development, or I know you'd be the person to come to because you probably help with my motivation and getting my mind in the right place. So yeah, if I ever knew anyone else that needed kind of some well-being, but I would definitely recommend you to other people if I felt like you were the right person for them. I spent a lot of money on it, but I think it would be useful for most people just to give themselves that window of time to talk things through and work out where they're going and what's going on, why they're feeling the way they're feeling.
Yeah, make sense of all that confusion and get direction again.
Yeah, exactly. Just take control back as well, to not feel like you're being controlled by life.
Yes, amazing. Thank you for recommending me to people. That means the world to me. Because, like we said at the beginning, trying to find marketing is like half of it. We know the magic of this work because you're living proof and we're living proof. But trying to
Yes.
connect with people who can find me in the ether of like the world is like the biggest challenge. So, thank you for being my cheerleader and advocating and signposting people to me. I'm really grateful. And you know this anyway, but if there's ever a moment in your life where you want to collaborate again, I would always want to do that. You know how to find me. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed our time together.
Thank you for doing this today and being so open and honest and just speaking from the heart and sharing all your magic and shining your light. You look to me like you're just shining so brightly. And I wanted to reflect back to you because that's incredible to see.
Yeah, it must be lovely for you to see people come through their journey and get a really good result. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm just feeling awe about that. It was almost kind of like no words. I feel speechless to see that.
Yeah, and I think that it's nice to be seen. I actually felt seen and heard with you. And I think that is the most important thing. You don't get that all the time. So thank you for that.
My pleasure. You're welcome.